Hey YouTube, Mike from LA1 here. If you guys are wondering what's up with this Dodger shirt, well, I got it at Kmart, and if you guys don't know, since I live in Los Angeles, as you can tell, big Dodgers fan, but this last couple of weeks, oh man, it's been a nightmare. I might as well do this video just to get it out of the way. What do I think what's going to happen to the Dodgers free agency? I think we're going to clinch, but there's a chance that the odds of us having the Giants clinch and knock us out are astronomically not in our favor. All we have to do at this point, since we're playing the Giants tomorrow with Kershaw on the mound, if we don't play like that, when we play tonight, if we don't make that mistake again, all we have to do is beat the Giants once. That's it. And hold on, let me close the door here so I can... Okay. Here's what I think's gonna happen. I see the Dodgers win the division, but they're not gonna make it far in the playoffs because we're probably playing the Mets or the Cubs. And I said this before, I think the Cubs are probably the odds-on favorite to win the World Series. We said this, I shouldn't tell you this, I said this in 2003. And basically we all know how that ended. Thanks, Bartman. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but you never know. Yeah, I think we're going to lose to one of those two. Even though with the Mets, we won the season series, but the teams have way too much inconsistencies. I will say that much. But now comes the interesting stuff. Excuse me, let me move on my chair here. Ooh, I do believe the front office is going to fire. There's going to be a lot. Someone's going to get fired. For question C. One of them, in my mind, is a no-brainer. I think most Dodger fans agree. The other one is a 51-50. I'm still not sure. The one I'm really sure Don Mattingly is definitely getting fired. The only way he keeps his job is if we win the World Series, and that is highly unlikely. And next, the one I say 51-50 is Mark McGwire, the hitting coach. Well, although the hitting has been, right now it's improving, stability, but the hitting has been very inconsistent. And they get used to hearing that word a lot, because that's what the thing here. I'm saying 51 saying he should be fired on the grounds that the Dodgers got no hit twice, and that is an embarrassment in my opinion. Everyone agrees that's a total embarrassment. We got no hit twice. In fact, we hired Ron Roenicke as the third base coach as the manager in waiting. We'll get to that in just a second. As the manager in waiting. After the second no-hitter against the Cubs, speaking of, Jake Arrieta, who I won't be if he gets traded to join us, great. But that, like I said, is highly unlikely. After that no-hitter, Mattingly should have been axed. Roenicke brought back in, but no, we're gonna play out the rest of the year, which I can understand why, because the Dodgers really make an in-season move. Front office, as much as most people are saying they should be fired in their first year, I just don't see. I mean, that's a rarity right there. Someone getting fired, someone in the front office getting fired in their first year. That is a rarity. But I do see Don Mattingly getting fired. That's the rest of them. Mattingly's friend Bundy could get fired. Honeycutt, no. Even though we have the worst bullpen in the league, but to his credit, he somehow made that sort of work, considering we have a lot of young guys in our bullpen. But yeah, the bullpen. Friedman right now, that is his top priority. Well, that's what I'm going to have to get to in a second. Next, I'm going to talk about who I think should be the next managers for the Dodgers. Here are my top 4 right now. One of them is the current third base coach. Well, I should say not currently. He's our interim at the moment. Ron Ronicke, because unlike Manley, at least he has a resume. 2, and I think this one might be, if they don't go with Ronicke, this guy should be the odds-on favorite. Buck Showalter of the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, they're probably talking that if they don't make the playoffs, he's going to get the axe. So, if they do fire him and get Showalter, I'm okay with this too. Third one, and this one is getting into the really unlikely territory here. Terry Francona of the Cleveland Indians. This one is, I say the Indians firing him. If they fire Francona, they're idiots. They're more idiots than Don Mattingly with the lineups. Yeah, that's another problem. I swear, Don Mattingly is the John Cena of managers. He's utterly garbage. He doesn't motivate. He sends in the worst pitchers in relief. In fact, you can tell that he wasn't ready by Kershaw. Like, even Kershaw is probably fed up with him. Honestly, I don't blame him. Honestly, I don't blame him. Because Kershaw's the face of our franchise. He's benching random people like Corey Seager, who in my opinion is the next face of the franchise. And he keeps playing Jock Peterson, although last night's catch was spectacular. I'll give him that, and we'll get to the players in just a little bit. And the fourth one is Dusty Baker, a former Dodger. But chances are the Marlins may want him, or he's leaving in there. But if not, I also read somewhere that the Marlins may want him. So Marlins, if you guys want Manley, you guys go ahead. Because we don't want him here. If you can get Dusty Baker to come in, I'm okay. At least he has experience with the Dodgers. But there's a fifth one for some people. They're probably some Dodger fans are saying hire Mike Scioscia. I say no. If they bring him as a team consultant, okay, I'm okay with that. But just not as a manager. Although it worked in 2002 with the Angels. So wait to see on that one. Next is the players. The first one comes to mind is Zack Greinke, who is probably going to win the MVP or the Cy Young. If he wins both, kind of like what Kershaw did last year, great. Because he freaking deserves it. He has an opt-out clause of his 3-year contract. So, this is gonna hurt. And besides, with these inconsistencies with Mattingly, if he opts out and he goes somewhere else, honestly, I won't blame him because Mattingly is, like I said, he's utter garbage. So now, I have 4 choices. I got 4 guys who I think will make the great replacement for Zach, should that come around. The first choice is, okay, do I even have to explain? Oh, whoops. Oh, I was right. Oh, I was right, okay. So, I have a website here that I'm looking at right here to see who I think is going to be the best fit for our team. Okay, first one, and this one's really obvious. David Price. This one is kind of in a meh category. I say there's a 30 to 40% chance he comes, but most likely he's going to go to the Cubs or possibly stay with the Blue Jays. But the second choice is Johnny Cueto. If they get him, I have a slight problem with that because I think the way he was playing with the Orioles, he was really good in Cincinnati. But let's be honest, Cincinnati has it's a lousy team. They have worse than ours. So we're gonna get to. There is one red in there I would like to see jump ship. We'll get to that in a little bit. So Kudo, I think Kudo is slightly overrated. I say slightly overrated, so that's another choice they can go for. This third one, and I think this one's a highly unlikely, but if they do that, this will be a big choice to the rivalry. And I'm actually surprised this guy's on the list. Tim Lincecum. I say this one's a 20 to 30 on that one. Because I think the Giants want him locked up again. But there's a chance they could let him go. I keep doing that. Thanks, Frozen. Although that would be a nice twist to the rivalry, because Lincecum was there once their ace, and then Madison Bumgarner came in. He got jealous, so he jumped to the Dodgers. Kind of like a certain closer that we all know, Brian Wilson. Although the Wilson thing, that worked out really well. It's good to get a backup closer. And the fourth one, I think this one is probably the most likely, but some Dodgers say, it's a meh. Jordan Zimmermann, currently playing for the Nationals. This one I could see potentially working out with Max Scherzer. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Max Scherzer going to the Nationals for a max deal. This could mean they could be losing somebody. And Jordan Zimmermann could be that guy. So if Zimmermann comes in, if Zach leaves and Friedman goes after Zimmermann, I think everyone agrees, Dodger fans probably won't have a problem with it. We got someone who is just as good. Next came the 4, 3, 4, and 5, the last three in our rotation. The third is a lock in my opinion. That's Ryu, Hyun-Jin Ryu. He got hurt, which that really sucked that we lost him. But since by spring training, we'll have him back. He's our third guy. Next is now this is where things start to get interesting. Alex Wood. Yeah, you know, the guy we got in that trade to get Peraza here. He's been, most of his starts, he's been really good. Except for that one in Arizona where he gave up 6 runs. That was a really bad start. And today, this was his second bad start. And all of them saying, oh, he should be released next. Oh, no. No, don't do that. If they do that, that will be a huge mistake. Because, put it to you this way. The Dodgers did this to Pedro Martinez. Yeah, big mistake there. I think this, Alex Wood, there's some potential here for him to work. But, with him being a 21, he's a really young guy. I could see him going down to Oklahoma City. I could see him go down to the minors for 1 season. And then get called up again and make him a permanent number 4. But until then, who should we get? We could re-sign Brett Anderson, but that's highly unlikely. So I could see a guy like a Scott Kazmir or a Kyle Kendrick. Both those guys are really good. And as for number 5, this is where things get interesting. For me, it comes to one person. Mike Bolsinger. I mean, the start of the season, Bolsinger was terrific. He was a great pickup. In my opinion, probably the biggest deal we got. And then, one of my few problems with Friedman. They send him down to the minors, to Oklahoma City. Which I still have a problem with that. Why did we leave Albuquerque? Why is our minor league team in Oklahoma City? I swear, is Magic Johnson trying to get Kevin Durant secretly to go to the Lakers or something? If that actually happened, brilliant marketing. And besides, speaking of our Dodgers farm system, I also have a guess where that's where the Dodgers farm system is. In Tulsa, Oklahoma. I swear, it's a Dodger takeover in Oklahoma, in the Sooner State. That's for number, but if they do, I do see Bolsinger possibly go to the bullpen as the middle relief. So if we get a 5th guy, it's either going to be Mark Burley, but I think he's getting up there in age, so I think he could retire before I see him potentially retire. But as a fifth guy, I could see a guy like a Brad Penny come back. Brad Penny or a Rob Lowe come in. If they could get Chad Billingsley to come back, that would be okay. Next, oh boy. Oh, and Mike Leake's on there too. If we can get him to come in as the fifth guy, that'll be great. Next, let's talk about the bullpen. God. The bullpen has been our Achilles heel this entire year. Most of our bullpen are in their late 20s. Like 28. Like Juan Nazario is like 28 or something. So I could see a couple of... If they can get some young veterans in there, like some veterans like Ryan Vogelsong from the Giants. Another... put the Vogelsong thing as the same thing with the Lincecum, like a 20 to 30% chance. He's probably going to re-sign with the Giants. But like free agency says, you never know. But if they get a guy like a Vogelsong, good. That way that he can mentor these guys. Mentor young guys. But Friedman he better not re-sign Jim Johnson. This guy has been a frequent disaster. For us. Every time he calls in the game, 95% of the time, he kills us. He gives us a loss in the losing column. So, no, do not re-sign him. And also, to the team that gets Matt Latos, I apologize in advance. Because Matt Latos is on the overrated scale. Matt Latos is in the Jeff Jarrett overrated company there. I almost botched that. So who do I think could join the Dodgers bullpen? Yeah, like Ryan Vogelsong tops the list, but I could see Antonio Bastardo go, Joakim Sora come to the Dodgers. I could see those three. Next comes the interesting part. Remember there was a certain Cincinnati Red I think would fit in great with us? Well, this is where it comes into play. I don't think this certain Red is happy in Cincinnati. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, darn it. I was hoping that the Dodgers would get a run in the Adolis Chapman situation, but no, it looks like he has one season of arbitration eligibility remaining. But if they can get a trade, if the Dodgers can trade for him, great. As long as we don't give up Julio Urias, our #1 pitching prospect, who will fit in great with our bullpen. And the Dodgers got a starter for Vanderbilt, I think. I keep forgetting his name. Something Franklin, I think. But Johnson, I hope we don't. That's possibly my biggest complaint. Johnson better stay away. We do not want him. He's a disaster. So whoever team ends up with Johnson, sorry. I think Johnson may retire at the end of the year because I didn't realize he was that old. He's 38, so he may be he's getting up there. So I think if he retires, I won't be surprised. Next comes the interesting part. Which Dodger will not be a Dodger next season? Well, I think Ethier's contract's not up yet. I don't think. Let me just check that out real quick. Sorry if this video is really long, but I just want to get this off my chest here. Because the way the Dodgers have been playing, it's frustrating. It is. Okay. Let's see. I don't think Ethier is a free agent. No, he isn't. Good. Yes. No, he isn't good. The only one I see leaving in our regular thing in the bullpen besides Johnson is Jeff Johnson and Jimmy Rollins, because Jimmy Rollins might be retiring at the end of the year. I do believe, because otherwise, why is he replacing Seager why is Seager playing every other day? Thanks, Mattingly. So the Dodgers have a great young core, guys like Corey Seager, Justin Ruggiano, who I thought was like, okay, why do we get him? But he's been pretty good. In fact, he's been really good. And I'm surprised he's a Dodgers prospect, so why did we trade him away to begin with? Yasmani Grandal, although he's been flagging as a bit, but let's be honest, he has a shoulder problem, so let's be honest, that is a reasonable excuse. We got Jock, who's making spectacular catches, but let's be honest, as of late, early in the year he was a strong Rookie of the Year contender, but now he's probably going to be in second or third place. If the voters think that his first half season, the first half of this season was better than Chris Bryant's, then the voting committee is drunk. I think Chris Bryant's got it. And this is coming from a Dodger. This is my honest opinion here. But although I'm saying Corey Seager is definitely up there for Rookie of the Year next year down the road. So, like I said, our young core, knowing Freeman, he's not going to trade him away. So but in my opinion, the only Dodger I see possibly on the trading block right now is Jock. I'm sorry. Jock has shown potential with all those power home runs. But I'm sorry. Those strikeouts, he's going to kill our momentum. So, I think Jock is going to be gone, potentially for a prospect. But if they trade him for cash, there is one guy I think will be a great fit for the Dodgers if we get cash. And that is Jason Heyward. Because if we get Jason Heyward and we lock him up long term, terrific. Because Jason Heyward is really good. If they have to come up with a plan B, short term wise, well, Grady Sizemore and Corey Hart could definitely fit the bill. And if you want really short term, if you want to try the Ichiro Express, have an Ichiro experiment, join the Dodgers, that would be terrific, that would be great. But chances are Ichiro's probably retiring at the end of the year. Alright, this video has gone on way longer than I expected, so I'm probably going to be working on the Disney videos again later tonight. Thank you guys for listening to this little video. This video has to be done, because I can't take Mattingly anymore, because he's absolute garbage. Alright guys, see you guys later.